who is a Bollywood fashion photographer, filmmaker, producer, and winner of the Dadasaheb Phalke Excellence Award 2016 for his contribution to fashion photography. We'll also have a live session of question and answer for 10 minutes at the end of the webinar. Please put in your questions in the chat box where your questions will be answered. Now, I welcome you all to the Royal Global University, Guwahati, which is the leading university of the Northeast India, established in the year 2009 with an attractive campus and world-class infrastructure and facilities, which is widespread over an area of 27 acres of land. The university offers both undergraduate and postgraduate courses in 27 different schools of the Royal Global University. I would like to introduce you to our department, Royal School of Fashion Design and Technology, started in the year 2017 and successfully running 3 years of teaching with our talented students under the guidance of our academic coordinator, Ms. Akriti Mozumdar. Speaking about the topic, as we all know, the main motto of the brand is to reach most of its audience, and for which photography plays a pivotal role in highlighting the unique personality of a brand. It gives a competitive edge when it's done with the help of a professional, and it can even increase the brand's ability to attract new sales. Today, we'll be discussing on why photography is important for a brand, how it helps the brand to have a distinct place in today's competitive market, what extra mileage it gives to the brand, how it helps connecting the brand to its audience, and much more. I would like to now introduce you to our Dean Ma'am of the Royal School of Design, Architect Anita P. Amiyavar Ma'am, who has been the principal of Royal
Thank you.
School of Architecture since 2011, with her 16 years of experience in architectural industry and more than 11 years of academic excellence. She is guiding the students as well as the faculties towards a better future by converging creative learning and great experiences. Ma'am, now I would like to now I would like to request you to speak, please speak a few words and share your valuable points with the attendees. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mansher, for a nice introduction. Good afternoon to VC Sir, Amit Khannaji, and all the attendees of this webinar. Today's topic is a very, very important one because according to me, whether it's a garment, a building, or any product, photography has a lot of significance and it has a significant role to play because ultimately when you create something, the product or or any building has to be marketed, and it has the nuances of the product can be visualized by a very good photography. So a photographer has a big role to play. He has to understand the product or the garment and shoot it accordingly. And hats off to Amit Khannaji because he has been recipient of so many awards, and then he's such a noted person. I'm sure that he has a good presentation to show, and I myself, I'm very eager to learn from what he has to say. Thank you so much, Mansher. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I would like to introduce you all to our Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Royal Global University, Professor Dr. S.P. Singh Sir, who has been associated with the Royal Global University from its inception in 2009 as the founder director of the institute. With the vision and hard work of Sir, the Royal Global University has been ranked the #1 private university of Assam. He further moved to Amity Education Group in 2013 and joined as the Senior Vice President Academic of the group and was responsible for functioning of 6 Amity campuses situated in India and abroad. Sir has more than 3 decades of rich experience in teaching, research, academic administration in institutions of repute across the nation, and he also served as the founder vice chancellor of Amity University, Chhattisgarh for almost 2 years. Royal Group is blessed twice to have the association of Professor Singh Sir in its journey so far. Sir, you've been the chief patron of this panel. I request you to please share your valuable points with the attendees. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, Mansher. As usual, you are very, very quick and swift in introducing us, but then you have exaggerated a little bit. I'm simply Amit Khannaji. Basically, I am a teacher by heart, by profession, by everything. So basically, I'm a teacher, still as a vice chancellor from last 6-7 years. I continue my teaching journey, and I enjoy this profession probably the way you probably enjoy photography or directing a film or producing a film. So it is my passion. So I'm here in front of you and going to speak for 3-4 minutes on something which is very close to my heart, that is photography. Though I never got a chance to pursue my passion of photography professionally, or maybe when I used to work in my the first university and department. Basically, I'm a geologist. I will speak on how geologists require photographers and how every geologist has to be a photographer. That probably I'll speak in 1 minute. But then prior to that, Amitji, I'm very, very fortunate, feeling good about the university today, as well as all the fraternity of fashion and architecture and all people who are passionate about photography, and not only photography, directing films, producing serials. We are going to have interact with such a young, dynamic, a successful person in the Bollywood who has achieved, I would say, everything in a very, very young age. I think you are 1984 born, and probably your first production or the directed issue, I mean, that was Tutiya Dil, was been released in 2012, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's right.
2012 and 1984, if I calculate, it goes only, I think, 28 years. So you, at such a young age, you did such a good thing, and you later on has done many, many other good production and direction, Badmashiyan, and all those things. I think a little bit I know about you, and I have read Wikipedia speak a lot many things about you. But you are a well-coveted, awarded photographer. I think once upon a time we used to say in academics that you should be jack of, you should not be jack of all, you should be master of one. But the time has changed in academics also. I say everyone that everybody should be jack of all and master of one. So I don't know what your mastery is. You are such a multi-disciplinary person, multi-talented, your success is also multi-profession successful man. I think we are going to meet not only a photographer today, a complete Bollywood personality who is into everything, from acting to directing to producing photography, fashion photography. So I think we are very, very eager to hear from you. Photography, I will speak for 1 minute, is very, very, I would say, fascinating profession. It's a very, very fascinating art and talent. And I remember when we used to get that Canon in our hand and Nikon in our hand. I'm talking about almost 30 years back. 30 years back, when you were not born, I passed my class 12th in 1984, the year you got. So I mean, from 1984 onwards, we were being given the cameras in BSc for geology, and those cameras were very costly at that point of time. One camera, normal camera, used to cost 2 lakh, 3 lakhs of rupees without hood and without attachments. And that point of time, keeping a camera, and the first thing which was being taught to us that you should never take out camera from your, neck guard. I mean, it has to be always guarded, because ek bar gir gaya, if it is gone, it's gone. So the body will tamper and alignment will be all. So I remember, and I was being professionally trained by my teachers and experts for photography. But that continued only for 4-5 years. And I have got very, very good photographs of Lord Canon. And we used to travel alone in field, Kutch, everything, I mean, everything. But then it is not part of my hobby nowadays, I would say that. But I'm very, very fascinated by photography. And as far as the topic is concerned, branding of a fashion brand by the photography is one. But as Adita has said, that building who instruct, like design, interior design, forget about all of them. Forget about branding of Professor S.P. Singh depends upon photography. Branding of the university depends upon photography. If my good photographs have been uploaded on Facebook by Mansher or anybody, I have been a better brand. So photography is part and parcel, and with this selfie and all, oh my God, everybody has become photographer in this world, in this country. So it's a very, very, great thing, and many cameras are coming with such gadgets which can actually give you a very good result in terms of photographs. So I think we're very eager to hear from you, for students, for professionals, for my teachers, for me, that how we can pursue our passion of photography and what is the benefit and other things of photography. So I think this is in my mind to begin with. I will be able to stay for some time with you all. Thank you, Banche, Anita ji, and all the best to Khanna ji. My best wishes to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, with due respect, I would like to welcome our eminent speaker of the webinar, Mr. Amit Khanna. Amit Khanna is an eminent personality and stallion in the world of fashion photography. With his style, concepts, and visualization, he has a new edge to this domain in India and took it to the next level on a global scale, to the magazines like Elle Official, Hybrids, Men's Health, and many more. His undying passion and commitment has led him to showcase his skills at celebrated platforms like Provoke Mr. India, Femina Miss India, Lakme Fashion Week, Wills India Fashion Week, and many more. He has been associated with international brands like Starbucks for celebrity photo shoots. He is also a writer, actor, film producer, and director. He made his debut as the writer with Channel V's first ever fiction show, Roomies, in 2009. With a film titled Tutiya Dil, he made his debut as a director in 2012, followed by Badmashia Fun Never Ends in 2015. His short film An Untold Story of Paper Boats was featured in 69th Cannes Film Festival and won the Best Short Film in Foreign Language at the Nice Film Festival 2016. He wrote, directed, produced, and acted in India's first ever LGBTQ web series, All About Section 377 and Still About Section 377. Both these web series gained immense popularity and were big hits. Moreover, All About Section Film Cut won the Best Film in Foreign Language at the Berlin International Filmmakers Award in 2017. Now, with due respect, I request Amit sir to start with the deliberation. Over to you, Amit sir.
Thank you so much, Mansher. Thank you, everybody, for such lovely words and so much of appreciation. Well, I didn't want to make this session very, very classroom because of one particular fact that we are talking on creativity. So I would just like to tell everyone that the only rule of creativity is that there are no rules, and we should really not be sticking to any kind of formulae. We should really not be sticking to any kind of, restrictions. And we all need to open up our minds, and we need to think what somebody cannot think, because only when you think beyond imaginations, that's when you can create something which is individualistic, which is your own, which defines your own identity. And that is the most important thing, according to me. When I took up photography, I wanted to create something that no other photographer was doing at that point in time. And I tried my best to do that. And that was primarily the reason why it kind of gained notice of a lot of people. Well, it was a risk because it could be something that might be appreciated, that might not have been appreciated. Fortunately for me, it was something that was appreciated. And that's how things literally clicked. Let me just put it like that. So, I mean, that's how things moved forward. Coming to fashion. So let's divide this entire talk into segments. Okay. So it would be easier for us to understand the importance of fashion photography in building a brand, which I feel is that a brand is largely dependent on the way it is marketed in today's world. And the way it is marketed is that photography is a tool of marketing which is used to build any brand, even if it's a fashion oriented brand, even if it is a lifestyle brand, even if it's a furniture brand, even whatever. I mean, it just depends, because at the end of the day, the consumer will only consume what he likes. Today, if I look at something and I really want it, that's when I want to go and purchase it. So I feel that photography is a major tool used in marketing any brand which exists in this world. And that's the only way we can reach out to a larger audience. So I'm going to try to stick to fashion out here because I think that's what we're going to be speaking on. And let's look at it at stages. So as a designer or as a student of fashion, today when I am deciding to shoot a collection that I'm making, you have a collection, you have generally two types of collections that come into the market. You have spring summer that comes in, and then you have a fall winter that comes in. I'm just following what is the general definition that is, that we as individuals in the fashion industry deal with. So we have two seasons primarily in a year that come by. One is fall winter and one is spring summer. So when me as a designer is building a particular collection in mind, there are a lot of things that I would have in mind. Obviously, I will look at the latest fashion trends. Obviously, I'm going to look at it at what kind of collection I'm making. Is it a bridal? Is it a bridal in spring, summer? Is it a bridal in fall, winter? Is it a casual collection? Is it a formal collection? I mean, however one goes about it. And there are a lot of elements of, designing that are going on in our minds that, for example, the color palette, or for example, the embroidery that's going to be used, or for example, the cuts that I'm going to be using. So what happens in that sense is that we kind of put in a lot of thought behind what we are creating. What photography does is tries to justify or take that thought further. So the day you meet your photographer after you have prepared your collection, or while you are on the verge of preparing your collection, or for example when you have your sketches ready, it depends on what stage. Ideally you should be meeting a photographer when you're pretty much ready with your entire collection, which is at least I would say 75 to 80% you should be ready with what you're going to be having. From that point in time, the designer and the photographer together decide on how they want to showcase that particular collection to the audience, which is ultimately going to consume or which is ultimately going to purchase what you have designed. So okay, now you go to your photographer, you explain him. I'm presuming that as a fashion student, I'm presuming that most of y'all are fashion students. Am I right, Manshir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All I attend
So
all
yes,
different departments
yes,
as well.
yes, pretty much. So
Yes,
basically what would happen is that you generally come up with these stories. So um my collection is inspired by, for example, the palaces of Udaipur, or my collection is inspired by the handlooms, or I am only doing a handloom collection, or I'm using khadi, or it's inspired by so and so vintage collections. And I mean, every designer has something in mind, or it could be a brunch collection. Nowadays all these things are just, coming up a lot. So what
yes,
happens in that case is that you have a story to tell as a designer, and you need to tell that story to your photographer that this is what I am looking to do. Now, one would say that my designs, or I have a lot of embroidery, so I'm not going to be using a very busy background. We've heard all of that. Okay, like if your collection is very loud, then please use a subtle background. If your collection is very subtle, then you can use a loud background, or however one goes about it. So let me talk about the first, primarily the first thing that comes about is that the location. Where am I going to be shooting my collection? So where am I going to be shooting my collection? And that is completely, again, like I said right at the beginning, there is no rule to that. There are no rules that we are going to be following in this case. So you can shoot your collection anywhere. You look at Sabyasachi, for example, he has some brilliant detail work in every garment that he is making. And he goes and shoots in the most busiest of places. He could be shooting in a marketplace. He could be shooting in a palace. He could be shooting in, maybe 4 or 5 models together. So, but still each and every garment does stand out. So what happens in that case is that there's no rule that has been followed. The latest collection that he showcased is of those the bling saris that he showed, and they were shot on a simple white background, but it had the same impact that any other shoot of him would have. Or you look at any other famous designer who you guys look up to. If you look at Dolce and Gabbana would go completely, they would go to like a Italian city and shoot with 20 models and shoot with kids and fathers and uncles and aunts and horses and everything possible. So what is more important is to understand is my location going with the theme that I have in mind? So what I would say that if it is a spring summer collection, please don't shoot in woolen houses, and the lighting is not summer. Your location has to offer you the summer feel. I think a couple of years back we saw a collection which was floral, which was spring summer. It was shot in a poolside. It was shot in, your location has to take your vision of that particular collection forward. That is one important aspect which I would like to talk about. Second aspect is the model. Okay, now out here, ideally every designer wants the most beautiful model in the world to wear their clothes and to really showcase the best thing forward. What I mean, obviously we do want models who are attractive. We do want models who can take our vision forward, but one needs to understand that the consumer is not going to be looking like a model. Your consumer is going to be looking like however they are, which are regular people with all kind of body types, with all kind of heights, with all kind of sizes, with everything under the sun. So uh, are we catering to only people who have the perfect bodies and perfect looks, or are our target audience much larger than what we have in mind? So we need to keep this in mind. And ideally, I mean, I can just tell you from what I like more is that a collection which caters to everyone. So, I am plus size, and when I look at, something which is for me, I feel like, oh my God, like there is something made for me, so I should, really go and get it. So, what I would suggest is, yeah, we would look at someone who can definitely carry our garments, because we have made it in a particular size. So we have a model size that we all go about. But when you're investing in a collection shoot, think out of the box. Think, how can I make it look different? Every time, everyone does not have to look great. My garment needs to look the best. My garment needs to be my hero, because that's what it is. I mean, that's your brand. That's what you stand for. That's what you've, slogged and, created. So you definitely want it to look the best, in spite of it being put on a mannequin, or even if it's put on a model. So that is something which I keep in mind when I'm sitting with a designer, um, while we are kind of shooting something for a brand. Also, I mean, it totally depends. If you're shooting for only women, if you're shooting only for men, unfortunately, a lot of men in the fashion are like completely ignored. So there's not much range for them to come about. But it is something which I've noticed over the period of years, which has been kind of growing. And we have a lot of things for them coming up as well. Coming back to the topic, our third most important thing is the look. So what do you mean by the look? The look out here becomes your uh, hair and makeup and your accessories. Now, presuming that yours is only a garment collection, not a jewelry collection for now, how much jewelry would you want to put? Do you want your jewelry to stand out more, or you want your garments to stand out more? This needs to be understood. If you're a jewelry designer, absolutely understandable. But if you are only somebody who's, designed the garments, and you've, made your entire picture so busy with jewelry, I think our purpose will be lost. So keep your jewelry minimalistic, keep your hair and makeup look something that is, how do I say? It is something which complements your thought. Coming back to the first thing that we were talking about, which is the thought, which is basically um the reason for you to make that collection. So, if I am giving her a summer look, I'm again sticking to one particular aspect. This could even be the winter look. But if you're looking at summer, then you'll be looking at more peaches and pinks in makeup. You'll be looking at, softer eyes. You'll be looking at wavy hair. You'll be looking at, stuff like that. You'll be looking at maybe pulled back hair as well for girls, because it's hot and they can kind of pull up their hair while wearing your garment. However one goes about it, one needs to understand that when is my collection coming out. So, and what is the mood, what I as a person would like to do. Would you like to be like, wearing layers of makeup and dark eyes during summer? You wouldn't like to do that. So you need to come back to the basic and understand that while creating a look for your photo shoot, you need to understand that what period am I targeting? Am I targeting spring, summer, or fall, winter? Because in India, we primarily only face these two seasons. So peaches, pinks, these are the things that work more for summer. You have your maroons and navy blues that work much more during winters. So your entire look has to be designed as per the collection. You don't do smoky eyes in summer. Like, you won't do a smoky eyed look and get out of your house in summer. So why should your model do the same thing? So again, the look becomes your third most important aspect while planning a photo shoot. The fourth, which becomes your lighting, which becomes your composition. Okay, so let's broadly put it as the photography part of the shoot, which comes into play much before. But actual photography means actual clicking of the images is what I'm talking about. And out here we need to understand the composition. So generally we all would love that, you have a straight shot, you have a side shot, and you have a back shot which comes into play, which is very important, because when you have to try to sell your garment, obviously we would want as a consumer to look at it from all particular aspects. When you're looking at creative shots, so you have two types of photography uh, compositions that are done during a photo shoot. One are your standard basic photography compositions, which are front, side, and back, which are very important. Let me just tell you this. This is very important. You need to do this, because without this, your catalog or your lookbook, as one wants to put it, is not completed. You need these shots in your profile while you're shooting. But what is also very important are your campaign shots or your creative shots, where everything possibly does not need to really show. But when I look at that image, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I really want to see more. That is what I'm talking about. And that becomes your selling point. That becomes, you know, your grabbing eyeball point, for the audience to actually be like, yeah, I want to look at this shoot. Because I mean, I remember years back when, I saw a picture done by Tarun Khewal for Sabyasachi. I was like, oh my God, I want to see more of this. So then I went and I saw, your simple shots, like, your front, backside ones. And then I realized, oh my God, this is really, really good stuff. So your campaign shots need to be designed well. Having had said that, if you're doing a photo shoot of say around 12 garments, all you need to do is have 3 campaign shots, because those campaign shots should take time. What happens a lot of times, designers want the maximum, the maximum amount of pictures to be clicked in a limited budget in a limited period of time. That generally is not the right approach. You need to understand that those 3 pictures for this collection of 12 garments, or 5 pictures for a collection of 22 garments is more than enough. You don't need your, oh my God, I need to post every day on Instagram, what am I going to have to do and stuff like that. That is really, really not the criteria, because in this case, you need to choose quality over quantity. You need this to happen. Unless and until, I mean, see, when you're looking at bigger designers and with larger budgets, they have almost like 12, 14 models on a shoot. So it kind of becomes easier. But if you have noticed, those 12, 14, models are wearing only one garment. There are only one changes that are taking place at that point in time, and those shoots actually move over 2 or 3 days. So you need to understand what is your limitation when you're starting out. I'm going to be trying to focus on that, because I'm presuming that all of y'all are students. I want to kind of stick to the starting out bit rather than, going into, I mean, I hope that all of y'all reach very high levels, but at this point in time, we need to understand our limitations as well. So I can't probably have like 200 pictures clicked off 10 garments. It's not going to make any sense. So focus on photography. You need your standard shots, and you need 3 campaign shots for a collection of 12 garments. Okay. So then that we've come to the photography part of it. Now we move to the 5th aspect of this entire, brand building exercise, which is your post-production or your editing. And that generally is the photographer's domain. But as a designer, while you're selecting the pictures, you need to understand that your garments are showing the best. Obviously, pictures that are attractive, please select them. But keep in mind that your garment is coming out the best. So out here, generally what happens when lighting is done, the colors of the garment tend to change. What you need to do, and you need to check on, is that whether your maroons have not become pinks and your pinks have not become peaches, your yellows have not become green. So that happens a lot. So, one needs to keep in mind, and it can be rectified very easily. So you don't need to get scared about it. So that's your post-production aspect. Okay, coming back to, so these are pretty much the 5 broad, stages that a designer and a photographer go through together while deciding to do a photo shoot. Now, let me tell you one more new thing that has come into the market currently, which are a lot of video, there are these 1-minute video fashion photography videos that, generally we see with a lot of designers. Even that's a great idea, because what happens in a video, you have you have these garments which have a lot of layers, which when you twirl them and when you swirl them and you do all of that, one understands the flow of the garment, one understands how the garment is falling, one understands the texture of the garment, so that's a very good, introduction to the world of fashion, where videos really play a very good role. And but again, out here, you need to understand that you need to choose your music carefully. You need to understand that your shot taking is beautiful, your garment is getting highlighted. You literally get a feeler of the garment when it's being video shot, because you have the the video actually passing through the entire garment. So understanding the embroidery details, you're understanding the the literal feel of the garment through a video shoot of your garment. So I would advise that one could go for that, and that is not very expensive also. I mean, that is something that can be which can come about. So these are a few aspects. Now, see, quite honestly speaking, one definitely knows that the role of photography for building a brand is immense. And the more I talk on that, I mean, you know, you all would be like, okay, we know that already, because we all know that already. So I don't want to really, you know, bore you with telling you the importance, but what I can definitely tell you that, uh, I mean, when you know about a particular brand, you know only because you have seen the pictures of that particular brand, or you hardly come across international brands or designer brands without seeing their pictures. I mean, those are the first things that come to our mind when we see a picture of a particular brand. That's when we want to buy it. So, you know, there are thousand ways of saying this same thing, and if I would, you know, continue to do so, you all would be like, I'm saying the same thing again and again. So I don't want to do that, but I can definitely say that you have to, uh, I mean, a photographer needs designers, and designers need photographers, and you know, they basically come together, and what they create is something which would create a particular brand. You know, so you know, when I am shooting, for me, the success of my shoot, of my success of the brand is a very personal thing. I mean, I take it very personally, and I would love to work on a collection for days. You know, when I'm sitting with the designer, understanding their thought process. You also need to spend time with your photographer for them to understand exactly what you're going to say. See, there are two things. Once the process, on times the process becomes very mechanical. Avoid that. Don't make it mechanical. Try to put a lot of thought behind it. Try to, you know, get a lot of ideas, and try to present yourself, you know, very individualistically. You know, I get so many designers who come to me that I want my shoot to look like Sabyasachi when their garments are really not looking like Sabyasachi. So what happens is that Sabyasachi already exists. Dolce and Gabbana already exist. XYZ already exist. You need to create your own impression through your collection, because that is the most important thing. That is, then you have, you know, the other lot of designers coming that I want my collection like this particular person. Aim to be that person. Don't aim to be you know, okay, I want my brand to be like this, and because that already exists. Why do you want it to be like that? You know, so the minute somebody comes and tells me that I want my collection to look like so and so designer, I just want to bang my head on a wall, and I lose complete respect for that person at that moment. I'm like, oh my god, like, you know, guards up. This person needs some heavy, you know, dosage of, you know, creativity, of being real. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would like to talk on. And yeah, I mean, you all, I'm sure Manshir, you all had a couple of questions which we can start taking up now.
Yes, sir. So, like the first question which I want to ask you is, if some of our students want to become a fashion photographer after completing his or her 4 years degree course, like, can you give us your views as per your experience? What is this field about?
Well, I think fashion photography is a great field, because you meet a lot of people on a very daily basis, and you come across a lot of creative minds. It's great. It's great as a profession, and yeah, I mean, obviously, one does need, you know, because it's a technical profession, one does need some technical knowledge on cameras, on equipment, on lighting. Uh, one does not necessarily need to go to any school, but it totally depends on that person, you know, what they can do. I mean, I did my professional education on photography only through YouTube, and I had really never attended any you know, photography school. So what only I could say is that it totally depends on you. It's a great profession. You make people look beautiful, you bring out the best in them, you bring out the best in fashion, and you're a trendsetter. But you need to be a go-getter for that, and you need to you know, really work hard, because fashion as an industry, it seems very glamorous, but it has a lot of hard work involved. And yeah, you have to deal with a lot of people and their attitudes. So be ready for that. And you must definitely, you know, if you feel like you want to be a photographer, you should definitely give it a try.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, one more thing, like, if what connects photography with fashion, like how these two are dependent on each other. What will be your views on that?
See, when we look at a picture, we look at the entire picture. So we look at it as a whole, and we don't look at, you know, the only the the fashion element of it or only the photography element of it. Like I said, that the entire look, your entire lighting, your entire mood of the picture is captured by the photographer, whereas your clothes and your accessories and your styling has been done by a designer. So when these two come together, their interdependency can be seen through a particular picture that we see. And I think uh, fashion, if you look at fashion photography, fashion is a very important element of photography, and in order to make that fashion reach out to a larger audience, photography is important. So both these aspects are very interdependent and they coexist.
Okay, sir. So, and what do you will say about the difference between the colored or the black and white? What role does it play in our psychology? Does it help in the brand like attracting customers? What do we catch for the color one or the black and white ones?
See, we generally in fashion photography, it totally depends if it's a concept based shoot or if it's an editorial shoot. We can go with color or black and white, it does not matter. Though I personally love a lot of black and white pictures because, they say they put you in a deja vu kind of a mood and you kind of, really remember a lot of things and the mood is set accordingly. And obviously, black and white has its own audience. But when we're looking at a fashion based designer collection, we need to show the colors even if they are only black and whites in it, or even if it's kind of got color palette going on. Colors definitely play a very very important role so warm colors are the colors that generally catch more attention when we look at a particular picture. We tend to get attracted to pictures that are warmer in their tone because we feel secured when we see those pictures, and the cooler pictures are your cold pictures. So um, you obviously have your CMYK. I'm presuming you all know the CMYK. So what happens in that is that you know, um, you have your red, greens, blues. You have your, yellows, maroons. However one goes about it, color is something which is important in fashion photography. And I personally feel that as a designer, you need to kind of go more for colored pictures. The black and white pictures look great. They can be your campaign shots, like I was talking to you about, but the true color of your garment and the true color of your entire look needs to be shown through colored pictures.
Okay, thank you. So, one more question we have from one of the attendees. Do models also change the look of the photography?
Can you repeat that, please?
Do models also change the look of the photography?
Of course. So, that, like I said, when I'm saying that, when you look at a picture as a whole, the model plays a very important part because, a lot of garments are difficult to carry. And that's what a model does beautifully. A model is your catalyst to kind of, take the shoot forward. If I don't have a model, whom will I click? If the designer does not have a model, who will the designer, make them wear the garment? So, of course, the model, the way the garment falls, the model is very important, and we should never compromise on a good model in our shoots.
Okay, so, what about the basic steps of photography? What can you say about the rules if you want?
I'm sorry, your voice is very soft.
Yes, sir. Sorry. So, what are the basic steps of photography, or what you can see is the rules of the photography? Like if
See,
someone wants to
like
start
I
it.
said, there are no rules in fashion photography,
Hmm.
but obviously there are different types of. That could like take me like more than an hour to explain if I have to. But you look at different types of photography. So you have indoor, outdoor. You have semi-indoor and outdoor. Then you have your fashion photography. You have a concept-based photography. You have your editorial photography. You have portfolios. You have lookbooks. You have ads. So there are various kinds of photography. There are no steps or stages. Steps and stages are for individuals. It's not for a particular profession. So today I'm at this stage of my life where I am so and so, and I would like you are a student at this stage, and the ones who are listening, they are students at this stage, and they aspire to become bigger designers. So for them, the various stages would be: first, I would showcase in a smaller fashion show. Then probably I'll go to a city fashion show. Then I'll go to a Lakme. Then I'll go to a Paris Fashion Week. So those become your stages. As a photographer, also today I'm shooting for portfolios, or I don't know. Like I still shoot portfolios. I still shoot celebrities. I still shoot editorials. I don't confine myself anywhere. And for me, no job is small or big. But obviously, I would love to do something larger than what I am at this moment, constantly. So those are your stages as a person. But any profession does not really have a stage. Like, how you have your, in corporate field, you have, manager, assistant manager, country head, sales head, all of this. I don't think a photographer or a creative person can kind of be confined to stages. So photography as a profession does not have a stage, but you as an individual will have your own stage in that particular profession.
Okay, sir. So one attendee named Baby Subhani, she's asking, sir, I want to ask why stylish with perfect photography is must in fashion.
Why a stylist? A stylist.
Stylish is stylish.
Um,
She has written, why stylish with perfect photography is must in fashion.
so I'm presuming that she means to say that why is styling important
Stylist,
in
yes, sir.
yeah. So basically, so you as a designer will kind of get your collection, which will be your collection, but it needs your proper shoes, it needs your proper hair and makeup, it needs a proper accessories along with that collection. A job of a stylist uh, is to kind of get that for you. You hire a stylist for that, and to ensure that your fittings are done properly, your clothes measure on your models perfectly, the look is perfect as per the creative discussion that has happened. That's the job of a stylist. And how to drape those sarees, how to pin up those sarees or any kind of gowns or whatever you're looking at, that's the job of the stylist. And that's how they kind of help and they assist the photographer as well as the designer to exert thought processes more clearly.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So one more question from the attendees. Do we require a professional course to become a
Well, I
photographer?
don't think so. You definitely need a professional course. It would be ideal to have one. You all are young. You all can do it. I became a photographer much later in my life, but you all can definitely have a professional course. It definitely helps. I mean, a 1-2 year professional course will definitely help you and will definitely open up your mind and thought process furthermore, as well as give you the technical know-how as to how to go about, conducting your profession.
Okay, sir. So, and what about the cameras to begin with the fashion photography?
So basically, we have a lot of models that have come into the market. So when you generally you start off with the most basic one. And as you progress in your career, you keep upgrading your cameras. So you have like more than 1,000 cameras currently in the market, which can be used for fashion photography, and more than like 100 different kind of lenses which are available right now in the market for the use of fashion photography. So yeah, it is something which has a huge investment. They are expensive. Everything about fashion photography is expensive, right from your equipment to your post processing equipment. You need to understand how to use it correctly, and yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, sir. So, can you just explain us how does this photography, fashion photography, connects or it communicates with the target audience of a brand?
Well, see, like I said in the pointers that I was mentioning to
Mm,
you earlier,
mm,
what happens is that you have your image, which your final image comes out, is basically the one which is talking to the brand. So, like I said, depending on the collection, whether it is bridal, whether it is casual, when I as a target audience looks at a particular image for something that I'm looking out for, like I want to buy clothes for XYZ reason. And if that particular image is where I see myself, then I would definitely go ahead and, look into that brand further. Definitely looking into various aspects like pricing, etc., etc. So the communication is through that particular picture that, is kind of projected to the target audience. And depending on how the designer and the photographer have had a discussion on it, is what the final picture would look like. So that's what a picture speaks for itself.
okay, sir. So, like, I want to ask you personally about this thing. Like, what are
Sure.
your like? Can you tell us about your upcoming projects with like in the web series or on the films?
Well, at the moment, I really don't know, because we've faced this unprecedented situation and things are still kind of, opening up. The work has been slow, and I'm hoping that by next year things should get normal. In fact, I'm supposed to be coming to Assam for a particular shoot. So I hope that happens
So you should
soon.
visit our university as well.
I will. I was supposed to be there actually this year in October, but I don't see that happening because things kind of, came to a halt. But I'll definitely come there. And I've never visited Assam before, but I was supposed to be coming there for a shoot of a web series in Guwahati. And so I'm looking forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sir. So let me take the last question for this webinar. Does editing plays an important role in the photography?
Yes, editing plays a huge role in photography because all the flaws can be hidden in editing, and I would have I don't know, it's a very important tool. A lot of people are against editing and they feel like, oh my god, but it is a very very technical job. It is something that we need to study and practice and work really hard to get right. So editing is a very important tool in photography, and it can really change the look of a picture.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And I guess all of our participants' question has been answered by you, sir, successfully. And so what are your what is the conclusion for this topic? What would you say?
Well, I would just like to conclude saying that photography is an extremely vital and important element used to build a brand. It is primarily the first impression that is created for a brand, and what the brand wants to communicate to its target audience. Then it depends on the quality of the brand. But initially, the first impression, like they say, is the last impression, is the reason for the audience to purchase a brand is how well it is projected into the market and shown to the audiences. And that's what kind of is, the most vital thing. And photography is the most important tool while building a brand, especially in fashion.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. As we are about to finish this webinar, I request our Dean Anita ma'am to speak a few words about the topic and have a deliberation, ma'am.
Am I visible, audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible and visible.
Thank you, Amit Khanna. It was such an engrossing, like you explained so well. I myself did not know so many things about fashion photography, and I'm sure our students have enjoyed your lecture or your deliberations, and our faculty also have got a hang of what to tell students and how to guide them. I definitely would want you to and invite you to our university, Amit Khanna ji. Please, you must come over once the COVID situation is all right. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now, with due respect, I request our Honorable VC, sir, to speak a few words about the topic, sir.
At this moment of time, it's already been said. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Yes. That's only what I would speak is thank you so much. It was really mesmerizing session, and we really learned a lot, many things from you. Best wishes to you, Amit Khanna ji. God bless you. And you must visit Royal Global University whenever you are in Guwahati. Otherwise, we'll not allow the flight to take off. Okay? All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, as we come to an end, I would like to immensely